Whew. All right, Burger Man. It's been a few weeks. I am excited to record again.
Yeah. Me too, man. Me too. Just wondering, would you be okay if we just did an audio episode?
You don't want to do video?
Just at least for tonight, I think it would be a good idea for the Arcane episode.
I mean, why? Is like your room dirty or something? You got
No,
some
no,
mess going on?
my room's fine. It's fine.
Wait a minute.
No, it's not. It's not what you
You
think.
you did it again, didn't you, Burger? I told you shouldn't do this after you did it season 1.
But the ponytails look good, John.
Your hair's blue right now, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's not
Burger.
blue. It's not.
You got to learn your lesson.
Also, my belly doesn't look as good in this as I thought it would.
Oh God.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Screened In Podcast. Here at the Screened In Podcast, we watch anything that's on our screens. That includes movies, TV, anime, video games, you name it. If it's on a screen, we're probably talking about it. My name's Mike Berger, and with me is my esteemed, it's back, broccoli co-host, John Arteguer.
How's it going, Mike? I'm glad to be esteemed again. And you know what's not on a screen this week? Our faces.
Oh, what a transition.
As we joked about in the little intro skit. For now, we're going to be going back to just kind of audio episodes. Like, we had a lot of fun doing those little intros and things like that. And we just kind of figured for now, it's the way to go for us. I don't know.
Yeah.
You have anything to add?
Well, I think it's funny. I think there was like a thought that we would maybe like try to reach a wider audience by uploading to YouTube and creating a visual, but I felt like we had the audio down so
we had the
well.
formula.
Yeah, like our formula for audio episodes, I was like so happy with.
Mm-hmm.
And like I loved doing the skits and different things, and we had a lot of discussions of like, well, how is the form gonna change if we do video? And it's not gonna be, it wouldn't be as imaginative as just the audio was.
We're not great actors.
No, but apparently though, we've gotten very comfortable with our voices, and like, for example, like the Power World intro was like so solid and like so good, and I was so proud of that, and I like liked it so much.
I always love I always loved looking for sound effects and things to add into the edit.
And we just had so much. I mean, sometimes we would like spend way too much time thinking about like what the intro was, but it was like one of the parts where it was like at the beginning of the episode, it just felt so punchy, and I was just, every time the episode would start, I'd be like, oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
I love it. So I like that we're going back to that, because I don't know, I think you did an incredible job editing the audio, and I like when we're like and we have a lot more jokes in the intros that are just really stupid, and I love that.
And I think we'll still upload on YouTube. I think I want to try to find out kind of, a visualizer or something, that'll be there. So in case that's just your preferred way to listen to it, if, you're just putting it on your TV or something, there'll be something, just to look at. It just won't be our two beautiful mugs up there.
Yeah.
And I do have to say, with going with video and things, it really gives you an appreciation of streamers and just YouTubers and stuff who have crystal clear, beautifully lit you
Oh my
know,
God.
amazing quality video in what looks like a normal bedroom. It's like that takes a lot of work and a lot of equipment to
Yeah.
get it to look like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. And it's a lot of money too.
Yeah.
Let's not forget
That
that.
was yeah, we both kind of bought cameras like, you know, I think we're both have like, you know, mid-level like webcams. Like
Yeah.
we both don't have
Yep.
DSLRs up here.
Nope.
And so it was like that and you know some cheap kind of lighting that was kind of basic and a Govee RGB bulb behind me. You know, yeah, I made it work, but it was like, man.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing. It's just a more kind of relaxed format to do audio. Like you can just kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
do it.
100%. I would feel that in our episodes, and when we did switch to the video, I definitely felt different. And also too, I had to remind myself to look at the camera
Yeah.
fairly often. And now, with audio, it's just like I like to sit here and like when we're talking and I just kind of like look into space because that's how my mind works when I'm like thinking of these things is
Yeah.
I'm looking up
While
to
you're
the left and I'm
pontificating.
looking down to the right and I'm looking anywhere but actually at the camera. So
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's always when like you have to look something up, and it's very obvious that you're like staring way away from where your camera is on top of the screen, and I'm like, wow, this looks like crap, but I have to do it.
yeah. Yep.
But just to, I guess, to kind of close this out, I kind of said it, and like we both kind of agreed. It, we both have kind of like we want to get back into the swing of it. As some people have noticed, apparently, our second October episode released halfway into November.
Oops.
You know, I mean, we both have a lot, you know, things going on. It's hard to get, you know, into a groove, but we both want to do that. And, you know, there might be recorded, you know, video content again, you know, like supplemental little things or who knows. So that's the Screened In Podcast update section, I guess, of the episode.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a nice, it's a return, but it's not a bad thing. It's like,
No.
we're going back to, I think the medium that we're more comfortable with
Yeah.
and have felt like the show runs smoothly in that way. But I mean, for the first audio episode going for our first return to audio, we picked a banger.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Um,
does it feel good to watch a show that's, well, quite frankly, really good. Arcane League of Legends Season 2 is out on Netflix,
mhm.
and I believe at this point of recording, there's 6 episodes that have released.
Yep.
And November 24th, which will probably have passed by the time this releases.
It will definitely.
Yeah, episodes 7, 8, and 9 will have been released, and that will be the end of season 2.
Is it the end of the season or is it the end of the show?
Good question. I really don't want it to be the end of the show. There's
I
no
know.
way, John. Don't tell me. Don't you scare me like that.
I see conflicting reports. There's one article saying that there isn't. There's one article saying like what's next in season 3. So I'm not sure.
It can't be. Like no.
Yeah.
Because for me, I'm just like, add more characters. Like there's so much to pull from. Like they have such a wide net to
So
utilize from the lore of League of Legends. Like why I know that this show in particular is like so highly stylized and like so like every single frame
yeah.
is like painstakingly made. Like you can just tell. But I don't want it to go anywhere. I can't have just 2 seasons of this.
Yeah, this was like you mentioned the lore of League of Legends. Now, to dispel anyone who's thinking, oh, I don't know League of Legends, this episode's not for me, or this show isn't for me, don't think that. I've never touched the game of League of Legends. Well, I have, like, it's crazy because League of Legends makes so much friggin' money still that, like, every season or like every year they have like a huge tournament. It's like what is it called? But it's like a massive tournament that they have. The Worlds, I think they call it. And every year they make a music video. I think this is where like the Imagine Dragons song came from. They'll make like a music video that's styled like Arcane. And I got into that because I was like, what? These are crazy quality, like little short 4-minute videos. Now you get 40 minutes of that per episode. Like, let's do it.
I just want to hang out for a second talking about the larger League of Legends before we go back to the show, just because you brought it up, you mentioned it. So right now, currently on Twitch, 84,000 people are watching League of Legends.
That's crazy.
And that is number 5 after Just Chatting, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Call of Duty Warzone, and Valorant. So, and ahead of Fortnite. And not far behind that, in the top 15, is Teamfight Tactics, which is also a League of Legends title.
And the fact that it's in roughly like the top 5 or something of streaming categories. Do you want to take a shot, or do you know when League of Legends was initially released?
Ooh, I don't know if I would be very good at guessing. Let me take a shot at. I feel like it's been talked about. It's been around since I think I was in high school. Maybe I'm gonna take like a guess at like 2005.
Okay, that's a little bit early.
Okay,
it came out October 27, 2009. Which
okay, I was only four off. That's not
what
bad.
I mean. You went back further than I would have. I would have guessed probably like 2012. Like, I knew it had been out a long time, and the fact that this game is still insanely culturally relevant in the gaming world after being out like 15 years is insane to me. That's why it still rakes in like $1 billion a year or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's wild.
And I've never played it once. Never touched it.
Me neither. I mean, here's the thing is, I mean, I know I just said it was like above Fortnite, but let's be honest here. Like, the learning curve for Fortnite, like me or you could jump into a Fortnite game. Like, yeah, we would get our butts kicked, but we could jump in. Yeah. League of Legends, these types of games, they're a little steep learning curve.
And they're competitive.
For some people.
Like, the main draw is the competitive aspect.
Yeah.
Of, like, professional competitive. And, you know, when you think competitive games, I think League of Legends and Dota 2. Like, those are the big ones to me. And then, like, Call of Duty and whatnot.
They also have a little bit of a reputation with, like, I don't know, it's generalizing is a little dangerous to do, but we're doing a podcast. They have
That's what we do best.
The word on the street is that it can be a little toxic.
I would imagine
game lobbies.
Oh, I could only imagine like how absolutely brutal that section of the gaming world is.
Yeah.
Because I said, like, this isn't like, oh, you were the lowest, you had the lowest kill count in Call of Duty on the team.
Right.
These are like I think if you play bad, you very much contribute to the team losing. Like, it's not like if you're a bad player, it's hard for the team to overcome it, I think. So it is like you said, it's critical that you learn a character, you know how to use them properly, where to go, how to do it. All I know is there's lanes, apparently. You can go in different lanes.
John is an expert, if you can't tell.
But like what I think is great though is they made this show for everyone. Like they could have made it just for, you know, League of Legends and made it very, I don't know, just very lore focused or something, you know, just made it to where you had to be entwined.
Yeah. They expanded to a whole new audience. I mean, the amount of people, what I did today, John, is like, I just randomly on like my socials, like I did come across like a Jinx cosplayer. So that's where I got the idea for our intro today. And I was like, holy shit, that's so good. It like looks so good. And then someone in the, I don't know, for better or for worse, I love looking at the messages. And someone in the messages said like, oh, I absolutely despise looking at Arcane cosplays because they are just the absolute worst. And you could see the sarcasm dripping in it. And I was like, wait, okay. So I started searching the character names and I was like, holy shit. There's such a large population of people out there that cosplay Arcane characters and all of the characters. Like I'm talking all of them. Like, and they're solid. And they'll use makeup to like show, like I saw one girl who was doing Caitlyn, but her nose was like the bridge of her nose was like wider than Caitlyn's is because Caitlyn's is very long and skinny. And she used makeup to make it look like almost like a shadow to make her nose bridge smaller. And I was like, holy shit, this is wild. I was just so impressed by all of them. I was like, this is so cool.
Yeah, I was going to say, these are, with it being so big for so long, like this is probably, you go to any con and you're going to see a million people as League of Legends characters.
Oh, yeah. And I think I would not have recognized them before, but now I will, at least not all of them. Obviously, there's so many characters. But but I do want to mention before we go back into the show is that for a while I've been tracking, you know, I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with MMOs. I used to play World of Warcraft in college. There has been a Riot, the name of the company that makes League of Legends. There's been a Riot MMO in the works for quite some time. And right now, just now, apparently they're going into full development mode. So this is happening. They've been hiring and they've been writing concepts, and now it's, you know, the website itself is very speculative. There is news, there is some discussion on there, like videos that they posted, but it's very much concepts. There's not much to see, but it's based on League of Legends lore. Watch some YouTube videos about it, I mean, I would probably buy it.
I mean, at this point, I do feel like I should try something in this universe to actually see these characters in action.
I think Teamfight Tactics is actually a really good potential one for us to jump into, John, because the learning curve is smaller. A lot of there's some luck involved too. It's not
like
it's not all skill. I believe you can play this on your phone.
Oh yeah, it says play for free on mobile or desktop.
Yeah, so it's like a chess game essentially with League of Legends players. Yeah, or characters.
Wow. I've been looking for a new phone game, so I might have to give this a shot just to, you know, put my training wheels on.
He said the catchphrase.
Oh, there it is.
I want to buy you a T-shirt with that on it.
Well, this is like one of those things where it's like, I feel like this is a way of where if I get into it, I'm like, oh, you know what? These characters are really cool. You know, then take like the next step and maybe try League, but I don't know about that.
Oh, I would try it with you if you did.
Now
Then we
you
can both
mentioned
side.
you mentioned development,
Yeah.
and now I'm going to pivot from that.
All right. Go for it.
I think there was. I want to get your opinion on this because I don't want to only gush about the show. I think the show really got hurt by how good it looks because it took 3 years for this second season to come out. And I'm not the. I mean, this is on me. I'm not the type of like, oh, this is coming out. Let me go rewatch the whole first season. Like, I usually don't do that.
I had to watch one of those 15-minute YouTube episodes that recap everything, because the recap for in season 2 was not
It was not
nearly enough.
And I felt like I feel like the first arc, the second arc, like the episode like 4, 5, and 6, by that point you're a little more reconnected with everything. But watching the first couple episodes, I'm like, okay, I remember these characters, but I'm like, why is this guy down here now? And I'm like, like there was just a lot of stuff where I'm like, I remember, or there would be situations, and I'm like, okay, I can tell the show's telling me how significant this moment is, but I forget why this would be so significant. Like, I'm only like I couldn't remember all the ins and outs of things that happened, and I feel like that kind of I wish, and I'm jealous of anyone who now is watching both seasons back to back, because I think that would be a really good experience.
Yeah, we agreed to watch season 2 before I started season 2, I think. And I started season 2 and I was like, I wish I could start from the beginning of season 1 right now, but I know I won't have much done before the podcast starts, so I need to jump into season 2.
I was tempted, like an episode in, I was like,
yeah,
do I go back and watch? I'm like, because it does something that I really like when sequels or cliffhangers or whatever come back literally seconds after the first one ends. Like, this is just a continuation of the same day. Like, it starts and so I'm like, oh man, like if this was just a regular season of a show or something, it would be fine. Like, you'd be like, oh yeah, no, I still remember everything. Okay, cool. But I don't know, it just lost something a little bit. I feel like I think it gets talked about a little bit too. It's like, I feel like Stranger Things coming out, another Netflix show, is going to do the same thing. That's been in development for years too, and it's like, at this point I'm like, I remember, I guess, what was kind of happening. I don't know.
Yeah, the excitement does sometimes flare out a little bit, but I see what you mean. Yeah,
but I'm right away though. The animation of this show is
so good.
I mean, it's amazing.
It's
I don't know. Like I said, I can't think of a comparison, but when there's like an action scene or a fight scene, I don't think there's another animated show or movie out there currently that does it better. Like, it shows it, like, I don't know, it's like 3D, and it's incredible to watch. Like, this is by far the best looking thing I've seen in a long time.
Yes. The choice of how to stylize all of that and animate all of that alongside an excellent soundtrack. Like, they're not afraid to put, like, they're like, okay, if someone's directing this, they're like, thought, okay, here's gonna be the scene, and someone's probably out there, like, they're it seems like they create the scene around the music choice.
Yeah.
Because you watch the scene and the up and downs and sometimes the bass beats, you can like see them in the animation. And like they choose just like the most obscure, interesting, still pop, but
Yeah.
dark or moody or like something.
It's not just generic action shot background
Yeah, it's usually
orchestra or
edgy
something.
music,
Yeah.
like choices. And then they're like, okay, we're going to do all of this particular scene. Oh, the thing that comes to mind is the second season, beginning of the fourth or fifth. I think I'm on the fifth episode now that I think about it. The beginning of the fifth episode. Yes, I'm on the fifth episode. The beginning of the fifth episode starts out with this song talking about like something. She says something blue, and it's an intro before the intro.
Yeah.
And there's like paint splatters of blue hitting all of the characters. And it's basically telling us that there's a little bit of a time jump in between the fourth episode and the fifth episode, because you're seeing things change in this little intro before the actual intro.
Yeah. A lot of the episodes are started with almost a storytelling but completely different music video.
Yeah.
Like it'll be, or there's one of the, it might be the sixth episode. First of all, the sixth episode, the music pops off near the end, like the crescendo. There's a great music scene. But also, I think like halfway through, it just kind of goes like this painted kind of style, like watercolor-esque looking like music video for a bit. And I don't know, it's like half the time I feel like my jaw is just on the floor watching this show, because like all the shortcomings or anything that I have with it just gets overshadowed by just how good they make it all look. Like it is so polished. And like you said, I love the fact that they do animate to the music. Like it's not just, some big noises in the background and, the classic just orchestra, or the Inception that so like it's like they pick like really good music, or they get people to make music specifically for the show.
Yeah.
Like legitimate songs that then they'll go and release a random music video for on the League of Legends YouTube channel.
What? It's awesome.
Yeah, I love it. This is like, did the second season, do you think it's been as good as the first season?
It's hard for me to really remember, like how I do remember really liking the first season, but as you said, it was 3 years ago, so it's kind of hard to remember. I think I'm just like, what my attitude is it reminds me like how good this series is. Like, I don't think I forgot, but I think I don't think I remembered, oh, it's this good. I think that any first season of something can sometimes feel a lot more special than the continuation, because of like the dopamine release of seeing something like so new and different. And I definitely felt that in the first season of this. And I like probably don't feel that as much in the second season, but so much time has passed that it doesn't necessarily matter. I'm just being reminded of how good it is. That's how I feel right now, at least.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in the same boat of like, it takes me back and being like, wow, yeah, this is really good. Mm-hmm. Like, the only problem was like I said, it just seemed to be throwing a lot at me that I was like, oh man, I should really have like taken notes or something on the first season. But actually, like I looked up, I how I am, I just look up reviews and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I was surprised to see a lot of negative talk about it on on Reddit. I know it's not a trusted source; it's just a bunch of goobers on keyboards over there. But it was a lot of people being like, "Oh, this season the writing's bad." Like people said the music wasn't as good. But the only thing that I did agree was there was a lot. Like I think the one comment was like, "There's a lot coming at people in this, and like if you like people who don't know League of Legends must be thinking like, what is going on? Because like they
Yeah.
introduce, you got to the point
Yeah.
where like those roses,
Yeah.
yeah, that part I was like, what the
Yeah.
hell's happening?
Honestly, I just chalked that up to me not remembering.
Yeah, I had to chalk it up to that, or this is just a thing in this world, and this
Yeah.
is how you're getting introduced to it. They're just throwing you into it, and you'll learn it as you go.
Yeah, and I did hear that, like, because I've watched YouTube videos about like how the MMO would potentially work, like those videos talking about the lore. Like, actually, if you just look up League of Legends lore YouTube videos,
Oh
you'll
God.
find some pretty in-depth, incredible
So there's
stuff.
probably like 6 hour
Oh, they're so
in
long.
depth.
Oh, 100%. And I think there's just so much there to pick from. But I know that people could probably find that intimidating. And there's a lot of stuff that would like that intimidates me, that would prevent me from starting an IP. Like, for example, I'm probably not ever going to start One Piece again, because it's just like,
killing me.
no. But when it interests me just to hear people talk about like, oh, there's so much lore to this that like people don't realize, and like they get it piecemeal, and there's people out there that like put it all together, and I'm like, oh, what is happening? Anyway, I'm getting off track, but I just think it's really cool.
No, it's I like I said, I love the fact that you can watch this show without knowing any of it, but yet there's probably so much jammed into this. And right after that comment of people saying like, man, if you don't know League of Legends, this is probably a bunch of nonsense. There were some people comments that were saying like, oh, if you do know League of Legends, like you kind of know like what's around the corner a lot of the times. And I'm
Got
like,
it.
damn. I'm like, that's like. Then I have that mindset, like something will happen in the show, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if people knew that was coming. Like, I wonder if, or like a weird thing, like a character or something. I'm like, oh, is that a playable character? Like, is that guy
Yeah.
in the game, or is he just a character of the show? I think his name is. I had to look him up. Smeech. He was like that weird mouse rat human guy who tried to kill Jinx.
Oh, with
like this,
all of the like mechanical arms and shit.
yeah, he got into a fight with
Yeah. Oh,
other
please tell me he's
mechanical
an
arm.
actual character.
That's what I don't know. I'm like, is he a character in the game, or is he just a bit of lore that then they just brought to screen that way? I'm like, man,
Who knows?
I'll have to look it up because that he was cool.
Yeah.
I love when there's non-human characters.
Definitely.
Let me see. Smeech in the Arcane Saint Smeech.
Saint Smeech?
I think. Oh, okay. Hold on. Is he in the? To me, I feel like he's part of the Chem Barons, and I feel like the Barons are probably just like part of the game, and then they brought him just to life that way. But oh,
Possible.
there's like a whole biography on him.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. After Silco took control of Zon, Smeech made a name for himself as the boss of the Scrap Hackers, an illicit enterprise. It's a whole Wikipedia article on this guy. Yeah, I think he might just be the show.
Huh.
So that's what, like, I like that it's, you can have that kind of curiosity of like, ooh, I wonder if I'm missing something here. Like, I wonder if this is a character, but you don't feel like you're missing out on anything.
Yeah.
And as long as you're not trying, like when the crazy kind of things are happening in season 2, just roll with it. Like, it doesn't have to make sense. Like, there's spoilers. There's other dimensions or something. It seems like freaking Doctor Strange is up in here.
For sure.
I just had to be like, okay, I think I get the concept. Like, it seems like Hex Tech or whatever is out of control, and
Oh yeah,
it's doing something else now.
maybe it's because I'm like I've resigned myself to not knowing what the hell's going on. Maybe that's why
Yep,
I'm just
that's
like
what you have to do.
I'm just riding the wave, and I didn't even think about it though, because I that's how I watch most things.
I
That's
had
how
to
I
get
watch
like,
most things. I know there's people out there that they know like every single little piece. They like see things in scenes, and this does happen. I mean, we talk about it on this show, and we've talked in depth about Star Wars and things like that, and we're able to connect dots that like maybe other people haven't been able to connect and stuff like that. We do that occasionally, but like sometimes when it's something like this, and I'm like, I don't know anything about League of Legends. I'm just riding that wave.
yeah,
Like the roses, I didn't even bat an eye. I just was just like,
like
oh, that's neat.
like there was, yeah, I had to switch my brain to that because I kept being like something would happen. I'd be like, see, I must not be remembering, and that
Yeah.
stinks because now I don't know why that's this or that. And I just started. That's just how my brain was thinking, and I wasn't enjoying it fully.
Uh-huh.
And then once I just was like, okay, what? Okay, these two girls, they're dating apparently. I guess I don't remember that, but okay. These things blow up now. Okay, like there's dimensions. Okay,
Yes.
and I'm like, once you start just like being like, oh yeah, sure, rat guy, got it. Like I don't like you just take it in,
Yeah.
and then you can just start to appreciate kind of just the visuals and the story. Like it makes sense. Like you don't like I never was I like lost, but it was just kind of like, should I have known this? Like, is this
Yeah.
something I should have picked up on already? But then I was like, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. But as, like I hope anyone who's listening who maybe saw this show and thought, it's an anime or League of Legends, I don't know what that is. I hope people
Oh.
go and just decide to watch this because you're in for
Yeah.
a treat. I think if you sit down and watch this as like a 16 episode
Oh.
series,
Oh, for sure.
it's going to be awesome.
This show is one of those shows that's so good that it just like it can bridge gaps. Like it can bring people
Mhm.
into a genre that maybe they're not into. Like for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest takeaway is just watch this for it's a cool story. Like I said, it has
Mm-hmm.
no affiliation to League of Legends if you don't want it to. Like
Mm-hmm.
I love the if
The
you're into
characters are
kind of
amazing.
what's the game? BioShock Infinite. If you played
Mm-hmm.
BioShock Infinite, this is like that kind of world. I
Mm.
feel like
Oh yeah, steampunk.
futuristic,
Yeah.
but like steampunky.
But
Like
it's
I
like
love it.
this. It's like the kind of steampunk. It's like
Not
I
dingy
like this
steampunk.
because a lot of times steampunk they like. If I asked you to think of like an outfit of steampunk, you
Yeah.
might like think of like okay, there's gunpowder, or he's wearing like some leather brown armor, maybe some goggles. But the
Yeah.
thing I
A
like about
dirty
this
top hat.
version, what's that? Yeah,
A
top
dirty
hat.
top hat.
Yep. But the thing I like about this is like it's so colorful.
Oh,
Like so
it's
colorful.
bright. Like that it's like a I don't like yeah, it's like it is steampunk, but in like that kind of utopian
Yeah.
futuristic society, but yet
With magic.
yeah, with magic. And I loved when Caitlin got access. She essentially got a USB stick and got like a computer, quote unquote. But I love the fact that it's like a mechanical thing. Like it's
Yeah.
this whole it's like a computer from back in like the 60s when it was like an entire huge room and it's moving all this stuff around and like and I was like I love that it's like this crazy advanced kind of society but their technology like they don't have phones, they don't have
Right.
stuff like that. It's like you do see people and they're dressed like they're from like the 20s or something. They have like the top, like they're dressed in suits and top hats and prim and proper. And I think it's just such a cool setting for it. It's
100%.
yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else you want to talk about it?
I think, I mean, the runaway character, like here, that like everybody is so attached to, and I think the reason why so many people like the show is Jinx.
Yeah.
Um, she's in like this like chaotic neutral, sometimes chaotic evil,
Yeah.
like goes back and
Chaotic
forth.
is the key word.
Yeah, yeah. It is so much fun to watch
Mm.
and so much fun for so many people to cosplay, and like for a show that is in the style of anime, all of the characters like a lot of times are gray. Like they're not, what I
Mm.
mean by that is not literally gray, but
Yeah.
they're, you can't really tell, like they're all doing, there's some people that are like chem brokers and they're like, okay, those
Oh,
people are
yeah.
evil. But
There's
um
definitely, yeah, straight evil people in this
yeah,
show.
but
But
there's like so many
Jinx,
people that you think, you look at and you're just like, well, especially Jinx being one of them. I was like, well, she had a tough childhood. Well, she had an opportunity there, but she didn't take it. Well, and like that's why,
yeah, she's all over the map.
yeah.
Like
So,
she becomes like an icon, like of a rebellion, but
mm-hmm,
she doesn't really want that. Like but then like she shot that rocket at the end of the first season. So it's like there's all these things, like she does crazy things, but you're right, like she had a crazy traumatic childhood where she lived after her father died with a villain essentially who took her in. And so it's I do like seeing kind of the back and forth. I like that she didn't just lean into, like I thought it was going to be, even watching one of the trailers like on the next part of Arcane,
mm-hmm,
I thought, oh, she's just going to go off the deep end, become the leader of this crew, and that's going to be the next few episodes. And that's not really what's happening. Like there's the kid already, what you've seen, right? Like she takes like this kid under her wing because
right,
they're
yeah,
alone. And it's like she shows, like you said, like chaotic good, but then all of a sudden she's like chaotic, crazy evil and just destroys anything if she wants.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and it's, gosh, we've you talked about so much of it with like, we're not really talking about plot at all, and
Yeah.
I actually think like it would be, it we'd be here forever trying to nail down the entirety of the plot, because much like a episode of like Game of Thrones, there are characters doing all over the map, doing all different types of stuff. Everybody's got their own struggle that they're working on,
Yeah.
while there's also a larger plot.
Yeah. They're like everyone's got shit going on.
Yeah.
And I think you're at a point, episode 5 and 6, things really pop off. I'll let you know that.
I watched a awesome fight scene between Vi and Jinx.
Okay.
That was sick.
There's some good ones coming up, and I did want I don't know how to ask this, as I don't think you're at it yet. So I want to ask it in a way that's innocuous. Have they gotten to a cave? Has there been a cave?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I'll say this isn't a spoiler or anything like that. This just makes the show look so cool. They get to, I won't say who, they get to a cave that they have to kind of go into. And instead of them just making it a cave and giving a character a lantern or something like that, they make it covered. There's all this like blotches of like a fungus that's like a clap-on light they make noise and it lights up and then it starts to fade. And so, and it's like this like aqua colored light. So it's these bright, awesome looking characters in a cave with this kind of bluish light hitting them. And I'm like, what a cool little touch to add a random thing that you have to clap for it to light up, which is adding to the scene because it gets heavy. And then they'll be like, yeah, like this and that. And you know they have to like keep the light going. I'm like, I don't like. It's just the little things like that that just add an extra layer to a scene.
Yeah.
And for you, Berger, and other people who haven't seen the show, now think I'm certifiably insane after me talking about fungus to clap a light on. But go watch it; it is good. Okay. This was just such a cool, random, supposed like thing to add, but it really just makes it look great. It just continuously outdoes itself.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty fantastic show.
And I know I said I found some stuff on the internet that's negative, but this show is sitting at a 9.0 on IMDb and a 100 on the tomato meter and a 95 on the popcorn meter. Like, overall, this show is, people consider it, like amazing. So go watch it. This is a 4 thumbs up. Go watch it show.
Definitely.
And this one's, I think, one that like we'll sometimes ask like, who do you recommend it to? I think this is one of those ones where you could go tell like your parents or something, like give it a shot. Like you might not, but like, I think anyone could get into it.
Definitely. Like for me, as I think about it, pretty much anyone under the age of 50s. Let me just put it this way. I wouldn't suggest my parents watch it. Because I know they'd be like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. They'd be like, so this is what you were watching up in your room with the doors locked, huh, Mike? This is what you had on. This is why you dyed your hair blue those 3 years ago?
Like the idea of like young me up in my room and then Jinx cosplay. My parents being like, what? Huh?
Oh my god.
Oh, anyway, this has been another episode of the Screened In Pod.
That's a great way to end it.
We'll leave you with that visual.
Yep.
Anything else that we have to announce, John?
I don't think so. Like I said, we're just gonna try to get more into it. We've had some things going on where we've been kind of slow at editing, and then it sits around or upload. Like we just both have been kind of lackluster, I feel like. But I don't know. I think we both are a little more energized now. We both want to get more into it, where we're back on a schedule.
Definitely.
And the holiday season's coming up. A lot of fun opportunities. A lot of big movies coming out. Stuff. So, a lot of things. A lot to come.
All right. Yeah. So that's been it for another episode of the Screened In Podcast. We thank you so much for listening. The one thing that I really want to pump, because we're not like as active in social media nowadays, but the one thing I do like to pump is I do want us to get more back on our Discord and talking to the people who are on our Discord. So if you want to join the Discord, please either, if you know us, you can text us. If you don't know us, you can message us on social media platforms, and we will give you the link to our Discord. So that's about all I got. I don't think I have any other announcements. So that's been an episode of the Screened In Podcast. We appreciate you so much for listening all the way through. And
thanks for sticking with us.
Yeah, my name's Mike Berger. That's John Ardware. Bye, everybody.
Adios.